Ivory Coast versus Burkina Faso prediction. The king cannot be stopped. In the round of 16 of AFCON 2025, the clash between Ivory Coast and Burkina Faso is considered one of the most clearly mismatched knockout matches. As the reigning African champions, with a well-balanced squad and superior depth, Ivory Coast is highly rated in their quest to defend their title. Against a Burkina Faso team that plays with effort but lacks unpredictability, and quote, the Elephants, end quote, are likely to control the game and gradually assert their status as the continental champions to secure a place in the AFCON 2025 quarterfinals. Entering the round of 16 of AFCON 2025, Ivory Coast continues to assert its position as a leading force in the continent, not only through its rich history, but also through its convincing recent form. As a team that has won the AFCON 3 times, including their most recent victory in 2023 on home soil, the, end quote, Elephants, end quote, understand the pressure and challenges of defending their title. However, their performances since the beginning of 2025 show that Ivory Coast possesses a solid foundation to continue dreaming of the top prize. Under the guidance of coach Immerse Faye, Ivory Coast has showcased the image of a highly disciplined team, balancing physical strength and organization. Finishing top of their World Cup qualifying group provided a huge morale boost, allowing the entire team to enter AFCON 2025 with high confidence. In the group stage, they were in Group F, considered the, end quote, group of death, end quote, with Cameroon, Mozambique, and Gabon, but still managed to secure first place. This achievement not only reflects their competitive spirit in big matches, but also demonstrates Ivory Coast and APO's ability to adapt their tactics flexibly to opponents with different playing styles. Conversely, Burkina Faso is no longer an underestimated name in African competitions over the past decade. The team has advanced deep into recent AFCON tournaments and enters this year and APO's competition with the ambition to continue asserting their position. In the AFCON 2025 group stage, Burkina Faso qualified for the round of 16 with 2 wins and 1 loss, their only defeat coming against a highly rated Algeria, showing they are fully capable of competing on equal footing against major opponents. Burkina Faso and APO's strength lies in the quality of individual players across all positions. Center-back Edmond Tapsoba is a key player in the defense with his tackling ability, situational awareness, and command of the back line, while on the attacking front, Dango Ouattara brings unpredictability thanks to his speed, dribbling ability, and shooting from the wing. However, when compared to an Ivory Coast team with extensive experience in knockout matches and currently in high spirits and form, Burkina Faso will face a huge challenge if they want to create an upset. This clash is therefore not only a contest between 2 strong teams, but also a clear test of both their ambitions. For Ivory Coast, this is an important step on the road to defending their title, while for Burkina Faso, they need an outstanding performance to be able to stop the, end quote, king, end quote, of African football. Regarding the squad situation, Ivory Coast enters this match with only a minor setback, missing striker Vicane Bayo due to injury. This absence somewhat affects the depth of the attack. However, with the remaining quality options, especially players capable of flexible operation in attack, coach Immerse Faye still has a squad capable of maintaining continuous pressure. Conversely, Burkina Faso receives good news as they possess their strongest squad, with no significant injuries or suspensions, allowing them to implement their tactical plan in a crucial knockout match. Regarding the expected lineup, Ivory Coast will likely continue to stick with the 4-3-3 formation, a system that has proven effective since the group stage. In goal, Yahia Fofana remains the first choice due to his stability and ability to command the defense. The back 4 of Dewey, Kosunu, Ndika, and Konan provide a balance of physique, strength, and defensive coverage. In midfield, the Kessie, Siko Fofana, Sangar triangle forms the backbone, responsible for ball recovery, controlling the tempo, and supporting attacks from the second line. Up front, Diallo, Guessand, and Diomande are expected to constantly swap positions, exploit space, and put significant pressure on the opposing defense. On the Burkina Faso side, their coach is expected to deploy a 4-2-3-1 formation prioritizing solidity. Kofi will guard the goal, supported by a deep defense of Kabor, Deo, Tapsoba, and Kouassi, with center-back Edmond Tapsoba being the most important anchor. The defensive midfield pair of Nagalo and Touré will act as interceptors, limiting the operating space of the Ivorian central midfielders. On the attacking front, B. Traoré, Aziz Ki, and Dango Ouattara are fast-paced attacking players, supporting striker Lassina Traoré, who possesses the ability to hold off defenders and finish within the penalty area. Band. In terms of form, Ivory Coast is showing remarkable consistency. Their top position in Group F, a highly competitive group, demonstrates that the elephants are not only strong in terms of squad quality but also possess composure in high-pressure matches. They maintain a balance between attack and defense, control the game well, and rarely allow opponents to dominate at crucial moments. Meanwhile, Burkina Faso also showed a positive image with 2 wins in the group stage, although they still showed moments of inconsistency when facing well-organized and experienced teams. Regarding their head-to-head history, past encounters between these two teams have often been tense and low-scoring, reflecting the caution of both sides. However, overall, Ivory Coast is still considered the stronger team due to their experience in AFCON knockout rounds, as well as their ability to maintain control of the game throughout the 90 minutes. Burkina Faso could certainly cause difficulties with their disciplined play and high fighting spirit, but making a difference against a high-performing Ivory Coast team will be a formidable challenge. Based on in-depth data analysis, the match between Ivory Coast and Burkina Faso is likely to be a tight, cautious affair with few goals. Statistics show that 4 out of 5 of Ivory Coast and APO's recent matches have had a maximum of 2 goals, clearly reflecting the defending champions and APO's preference for safety, control of the game, and minimizing risk. Conversely, Burkina Faso and APO's last 2 matches and 4 out of 5 of the most recent encounters between the two teams also ended with no more than 2 goals. This indicates that when facing opponents of similar or higher caliber, Burkina Faso often chooses a cautious approach, focusing on mass defense and waiting for counterattacking opportunities. Given the nature of a knockout match in the round of 16, it and APO's highly likely that both teams will approach the game cautiously, prioritizing keeping a clean sheet in the first half, making it difficult for the total number of goals to exceed 2. Considering the Asian handicap for the first half, Ivory Coast ISN and APO's TA particularly reliable choice. The Elephants have lost the Asian handicap in the first half in 4 out of their last 5 matches, indicating they tend to start slowly and aren't and APO's in a hurry to increase the tempo from the beginning. Furthermore, in 2 out of their last 3 encounters with Burkina Faso, Ivory Coast was also at a disadvantage in the first 45 minutes. In contrast, Burkina Faso has shown a contrasting image, winning the first-half handicap in 3 out of their last 5 matches, thanks to their energetic playing style, aggressive pressing, and willingness to apply pressure right from the opening whistle. These figures suggest that the first half is likely to be balanced, with Burkina Faso possibly creating more chances, although they may not necessarily convert them into goals. Another noteworthy point is the corner kick statistics in the first half. Although the head-to-head history shows that the last 2 encounters between the two teams had a maximum of only 4 corner kicks before halftime, the trend at AFCON 2025 suggests a completely different scenario. Burkina Faso created a total of 17 corner kicks in the first half in their 3 group stage matches, with all 3 matches having 4 or more, reflecting their clear exploitation of the flanks and early attacks. Ivory Coast was even more impressive, with all 3 group stage matches having 5 or more corner kicks in the first half, and they alone had 13 corner kicks. With both teams possessing fast wingers who frequently push forward in the early stages of the match, the likelihood of at least 4 corner kicks in the first half is very high. Considering factors such as form, goal statistics, opening game trends, and the nature of a knockout match, this is likely to be a tense contest where a single moment of brilliance or individual mistake could decide the outcome. Burkina Faso is certainly not an easy opponent, but with their experience, composure, and superior squad depth, Ivory Coast is still considered the favorite to win by a narrow margin to advance. Predicted score: Ivory Coast 1, Burkina Faso 0. The above is a complete analysis and prediction for the match between Ivory Coast and Burkina Faso. The match promises to be tense, closely contested, and decided by crucial moments where composure and experience can make the difference. Will the, elephants of the forest, continue their journey to defend their title, or will Burkina Faso create a surprise in the knockout round? If you found this news helpful, don't forget to like the video to support the channel, share it with your friends who share your passion for football, and subscribe to Global Football Insight to not miss any daily in-depth analysis, predictions, and insights. Especially, leave your score prediction in the comments to interact, debate, and see who has the most accurate prediction after the match. Thank you and see you again in the next Global Football Insight news.